Okay, I am writing a paper on Hitler's propaganda techniques during his reign over Germany for class in 20th century history. Um, I'm going to go to Google and s- start by just typing in Hitler's propaganda techniques to see what comes up. Um, well, the first thing that comes up is 10 most evil propaganda techniques used by the Nazis. And I'm going to look at this just to get ideas, but I'm not going to use it as a resource because the title is already biased. But it's listing good ideas such as the posters and anti Semitism um, and radio. So that gives me an idea of what to look at in his film. So now I have some ideas of where I need to look at when I'm doing my research. And I'm just going to go back to Google. And I just clicked on a PDF written by either, looks like a student at Harvard, um, titled The Analysis of Nazi Propaganda. And I guess I just would look through this. It's pretty long right now, so I don't think I'm going to read the entire thing. But I'll look through this and see if there's anything helpful. And this um, student has broken down Hitler's dominant themes in propaganda. And so, what I would do is copy this web link and go to EasyBib. And I would just go through and cite this and create a citation so that way I could have it for later and just build up my database, just kind of get in information to write the paper on. And I would go back to Google and just kind of build up different places that I can look at to help write the paper. And then after I've gotten a bunch, I would go back through each of them and read through them and analyze them to see what information could be helpful and to get a better idea of where I could start my paper and what theme I want to talk about specifically, or themes. No. So, on this website that I'm on, it mentions Hitler's appointed head of propaganda, Joseph Goebbels. So I'm going to save this link as well on EasyBib, and then no. And then go and look at Joseph Goebbels. Goebbels? I don't know. And I'm still on the same website as before, the history learning site, and kind of just using this as um, a background information, and saving it in case it's helpful for later when I'm forming the paper. I usually just list as many resources as possible when gathering information, and then we'll go back through and determine which ones were reliable or not and which ones I actually use in the paper. Go away. And this page on Joseph Goebbels has some quotes from him that could be helpful when talking about propaganda. So I'm going to save this site as well. And usually when I'm writing papers, I either save all of my sources on a Word document or on EasyBib, because EasyBib stores them all, as long as I don't exit out of it or my computer doesn't crash. So I'm going to go back to Google and type and search for Joseph Goebbels techniques. I have no idea how to say his name. Every time I say it, it's different. And the first sites that come up are like Wikipedia or quotes from him, and I'm just ignoring those because I've already gotten background information, and that's only really real time that I use Wikipedia is just if I'm not sure about a topic and just want some information. There's one website titled What We Can Learn from Joseph Goebbels, and I'm clicked on that because I think that would be interesting to read and see if it helps, because he was the head of propaganda. So I'm going to save this website as well because the well-written article that I think is very interesting and helpful. And in this article, they talk about religious imagery used by Hitler. So I'm just going to go to Google and search for this. And there's some religious aspects of Nazism, but I don't really think that's, well, maybe. So I've gone and looked at religious or religious imagery for Nazi Germany, and a website came up that just shows the history behind the swastika and other various factors that the Nazis used. And um, this one I wouldn't use as a source because it's not. I mean, there's like doesn't really look all that reliable, but it gives me an idea of something that I can talk about in the paper. So, just, I mean, it talks about how um, Hitler and the other Nazi leaders recognized that the majority of the population of Germany considered themselves Christians, so they took that and kind of ran with it. So I'm going to put this website on EasyBib, but when I go back in later, I'm going to take it out. But that way I can just have it there for idea standpoint of where I can go about in the paper, themes I can talk about. Um, so right now I've got about 5 websites listed on EasyBib to look at, and I think what I do now is just go through each of them, read all the articles, um, and then I don't know, I would just take notes off of each of the articles, and I would write those down handwritten, so you can't really see that on the computer. But as I'm reading, I would just take notes of like important key points of each of the articles, and after that, I would review my notes to come up with like a topic for the paper, a more specific topic, because Nazi propaganda is pretty broad, um, and start constructing a paper based off that and gathering more information from there. Um, After I've just figured out where I want to take the paper and what conclusion I want to draw from it. So, um, is there anything else you want me to say or do with this? Okay. Did I press